wanted to do a video on the deal with narcissists. You can grow to hate a narcissist because their manipulative tactics are designed to invalidate your reality and destroy your self-worth. This causes immense psychological and emotional pain that often results in strong feelings of resentment and anger and hatred. That's important because sometimes, once again, they get triggered on perceived injustice, and basically anytime you do something that damages their objective reality, they have to mess with your objective reality. Because once again, it's about making you feel the way they feel. It's not about processing their emotions or growing up. It's about acting like a 2-year-old. Narcissists need to provoke a reaction. This is the thing about control. I mentioned this when Gannon touched me after I just wrecked him in a conversation. The anger and hatred you feel is a desired reaction for the narcissist. It proves to them that they can control your emotions, which provides them with narcissistic supply, the attention and validation they crave. Yup. They achieve this by devaluing and criticizing you. They chip away at your self-esteem with insults, belittling comments, and criticism disguised as helpful feedback. Unlike me, that's just genuinely actually trying to help people, they just lie to your face. Gaslighting you. They deny reality and make you question your own sanity, twisting events to make you feel like the problem. This can make you explode in frustration, which they then use as proof as your instability. One of the things that I remember speaking to Gannon and Stu about, because they were talking about putting people under surveillance and they just freak out. How does that happen? Well, it is a literally known fact. If you put somebody under surveillance, they begin to act up and they start getting weird because you're violating them. It is the equivalent of having somebody stand in your room and just staring at you. Okay. Blaming you for their behaviors. Once again, they're the victim and everything. In their world, they are always the victim. If you get upset by their actions, they will accuse you of being too sensitive or aggressive. Your reaction is the problem, not their behavior. Once again, zero accountability and no agency. Setting up no-win situations. This one's important. Narcissists often put you in situations where you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. For example, they may resent you for trying to please them, but also resent you if you say no. You ever been petting a cat and then your cat just bites you? That's a narcissist. Narcissists also, I've been told narcissists do not like cats. That is also important for our current situation, because if I do nothing, I get killed, and if I do something, I go to prison. Yeah. Obviously, Blondie's gonna rig it so that he's the victim, which, once again, I do it to my dad all the time. The trick to dealing with narcissists is never let them play the victim in anything. Just don't let them do it. When that happens, 90% of their bullshit falls to pieces, and it all crumbles. The hardest part about that is when they come back later and they do this bullshit where they're trying to convince you that they're the victim, but they'll be like, there's an orange, and that orange got bit by a bug, and then that orange hurt another orange. Don't buy into that. Just tell them, dude, you did wrong, stop screwing around. Like, the narcissist's hateful behavior is often a reflection of their own deep-seated self-hatred and insecurity and shame. You represent what they lack. If you are genuinely kind, happy, or successful, a narcissist may resent you because your qualities highlight what is missing in their own life. Your very existence becomes a treatment to their fragile ego. A threat. It becomes a threat. Becomes a threat to their fragile ego. Yes, remember how I said when you're a good person, people hate good people because you curate everybody's shittiness? Same concept. That dumb shit with that stupid shit when I was talking to the president, and he was like, no, you cheated, you lied, you did all these things. No, I just went to court and I reported you guys, and I did all that by being a good person. And then, you did that without raping anybody, poisoning them, hurting anybody, punching. Yes, without doing anything illegal, you guys lost. Because when you have to cheat to win, you've already lost. Okay, you've already admitted that you can't win without cheating. That's how you know you're a loser. That's the definition. Okay. You hold them accountable. Narcissists resent anyone who challenges their grandiose self-image, points out their lies, or holds them responsible for their actions. This feels like an attack, and they will retaliate to regain their sense of superiority. Blondie putting himself in prison and then unputting himself in prison. Great example of that. He's not going to tolerate that he's inferior, okay? Even though he fucked everything up because he doesn't have accountability. It's not a thing with him. They can't tolerate your boundaries. When you set healthy limits, it challenges their need for control and entitlement, making them resent you. Oh no, he has control over his life. Think about how these people have just... The thing that kills me about this is, I even said this to Stu, because he singled me out. There's a million other people out there whose lives you're not in control of. You're not. Okay? And yeah, you managed to ruin my life, but how many years has it been since you guys fucked up my life? Just think about that. And how many other people like me have you guys just completely fucking let slip through your fingers? This is how bad you are at what you do, by the way. Their lack of empathy erodes all connection. True emotional connection is impossible for a narcissist because their profound lack of empathy. This means they will never truly understand or care about the hurt they cause you. Yes, they're reptiles. They hurt people and then just move on. And whenever it's ever brought up, they're like, eye roll, and then it blows up in their face because they're idiots. Relationships as transaction. A narcissist sees relationships as transactional. Not a genuine connection. When they no longer benefit from you or you stop providing the narcissistic supply of attention and admiration, they will discard and devalue you. Keep in mind, my hatred of these people is a form of narcissistic supply. Therefore, I am enabling simply by doing these videos where I get pissed off and want to smash their heads with fucking hammers, which I guess was the idea to begin with, but I also think about, there was this whole brief moment in Ackworth when Stu would run and hide from me when I came around because he's terrified that I was going to murk his ass. Same shit happened with Gannon. He was terrified I was just going to murk his ass one day. This is how stupid they are. They're idiots. They live in fear and paranoia, and they create fear and paranoia because they're pathetic and they can't deal with the reality that they're pathetic. Once again, their own objective reality. Pleasure in your pain. Some narcissists derive satisfaction from seeing others suffer as it makes them feel powerful and in control. This cruel disregard for your feelings is a major cause of the resulting hatred. Hating them can help with healing. Feeling hatred toward a narcissist is a normal and valid reaction to their abuse. For some, it's a part of the process of realizing the depth of the betrayal and the beginning to let go. Over time, the hatred can subside and be replaced with a sense of indifference as you heal and focus on yourself. Let's hope I can do that. This entire thing, and I'm glad I looked that up because of hatred-based psychology, I literally can't let go of anything. And I think that was Stu and Gannon's and every dickhead at this church's idea was to piss me off to the point that I can't let it go. But I'm also retaliatory. Remember, I stabbed that guy in the eye with a pencil. So, yeah, I think, like, the whole goal with Stu is, like, Gannon and maybe all of them is to hide inside of a pillow fort and keep jabbing you with a stick from a long range, and the fear that, oh no, he doesn't seem to care, I can't control myself, I have no self-discipline, oh no, like, yeah, you just, whatever. Last night, I had a dream that I was Batman. Yeah. A Batman. And I was fighting the Joker. And the Joker was trying to light me on fire, and I kept, at the last minute, I would dodge out of the way, and then zip line to a rooftop, get on the rooftop, jump over the building, and then jump down and punch the Joker. And I kept doing that, again and again and again, until I just got pissed, and I just hauled off on the Joker. I got him in an armbar, but then I forgot how to do an armbar, which is weird because I know how to do an armbar, but I guess I forgot how to do an armbar in the dream. I got him in a triangle, and then I forgot how to do that triangle. And like, yeah, it was a very bizarre dream, but it kind of makes perfect sense for where I'm at right now, because I am literally grappling with, the Joker will never leave Batman alone because he's a narcissist. And once you trigger them, they can't leave you alone. They will harass you until you're dead because they're retarded like that. And you are their centerpiece. You are the most important thing in the world to them. Uh, and this even feeds into that shit where Harley Quinn was jealous of Batman because the Joker was that obsessed with him, because they're damn near gay when it comes to harassing people. They can't let it go. Um, think of like when I was at Papa John's and Garden was showing me, dude, one of the guys was really fucked up. They were literally harassing and terrorizing this guy and then screaming that he's a victim brain while they were victimizing him, like, which is probably the most fucked up thing you could ever do to somebody. And then I was like, Gannon, I don't think you know what a victim is. I do know what a victim is. I'm a victim. And I was just, that's an eye roll. But I mean, it's that stuff when I became president and one of the Nazi guys literally told me he was happy I was president even though I was an imbecile. He literally said I was an imbecile. He was like, I'm happy you're president because I am so fucking tired of dealing with these narcissists. They're fucking 2-year-olds and they get upset over stupid shit. And when you point out they're upset over stupid shit, they overreact like children. Like, holy shit. Yeah, leave it to a narcissist to think that they have the superior psychology and then they're going to impose that psychology onto all their children and everything those people do. The narcissist validation is the only thing that matters. Like, oh my god, dude. What a nightmare. Yeah. So, there is deeper psychological meaning to the Batman because it's an internal struggle with yourself. That's what Batman represents, but also the insatiable need for the fight for justice and self-sacrifice against a crazy maniac, a megalomaniac that wants to prove you're just as crappy as they are. And I remember saying that multiple times to Blondie and Stu. You're just trying to prove everybody's just as shitty as you. And I believe that is the end game with them. That is why they call everybody self-righteous, because they have no values. So everybody they meet is therefore self-righteous. And, like, you gotta think of how morally bankrupt these people are on the grounds that they stumbled upon me. They couldn't get me to do what they wanted. I'm an undiagnosed autistic person, and so their response was, I'm gonna poison him with heavy metals until he's retarded, and then I'm gonna manipulate him because that's the only way they can win. Because that's the only thing they know. Like, manipulate, 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 and everything is meaningless and everything is pointless. And that's why their heaven is literally just high on drugs and having sex, and that's it. And that's their highest self because they can't think past themselves. They only care about themselves, and every action they take is a selfish action. They do not actually care about anybody. That's why every member of their church takes it in the ass mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because the narcissists themselves in charge cannot tell you and cannot actually care about anybody in a meaningful form. I know my father's been the same way his entire life. He imitates society, he imitates being an adult, and he imitates these things because he doesn't know what they actually are or why people do the things they do. Yeah. It is not coincidental that I am in the same situation a narcissist would put somebody in where I cannot win by losing and I cannot win by winning. And this is literally the same shit that happened when I was president and I just said I'm out. And honestly, that's kind of how I feel right now, is to say I'm out. Like, no, I'm not even in it, guys. You got it. And I remember Anal Eaton Mummy God got really ticked off when I said that to him one of the calls when I was just, no, I'm out. And he was like, you can't do that. Yeah, walking away is always an option. It's not the best option, but when somebody is being ridiculous, you must treat them like they are being ridiculous. So, I don't do any of these narcissistic things that are just exceptionally fucked up. But I think it's because every time I tried it when I was a kid, it just blew up in my face or things didn't go the way I wanted it to. The way I've always described a narcissistic relationship is because I got into this with Blondie talking about women. Because to Blondie, women are the trophy. They're a trophy you get when you win. And I would argue in Blondie's brain, he won because I flipped out about Mary Bowberry in that one video. And he probably played that for her and said, look, he like all these things, and nothing he ever says is true, it's all fake, but whatever. But in his brain, he even explained to me that the females are the trophies. And I describe them as the arrow. But you see, the thing is Blondie's in control of this situation. So it wouldn't surprise me is every time I said something loving and poetic, he repeated it to Mary, but made it sound like it was him saying it. Because just like he stole one of my stories from DA and told her about it, and she thought it was disgusting. Like, that doesn't catch me off guard. I don't think there's a single woman alive that would like my stories from my DA page. But the other side is trying to destroy you with your fears, trying to break you with the childishness. It's the childishness that gets to me. Because, like, Gannon was my favorite. Ribbert, good old Ribbert, butt guts, fish lips, like Ribbert, literally said Gannon fucked babies. He said it at Papa John's in a moment of frustration. And Gannon freaked the fuck out. He freaked the fuck out because that's what happens when you expose a narcissist. Because Gannon, Stu, Officer Fred, they all know the reason the church does what they do. The reason why they have sex with the babies is to emotionally stunt people. And emotionally stunted people are inherently codependent. They are not independent people, and they will never be independent people. They will forever be codependent on the church or the narcissist who raped them at the church. Okay? That is the bare bones facts of that. And that is the whole setup. That is why Gannon freaks out when he gets exposed, because if the whole world sees him, they're not going to like him, and that's a good thing, by the way. But what happened to me? The wives made me like them, so I have to deal with that. But I'm probably not going to be going around threatening to kill people and freaking out about it, because I'm not a 2-year-old. Unlike these people who are fucking 2-year-olds. I don't know exactly, like, the way I've described I forgot, I kind of got off track. The way I describe a narcissist is, you stumble upon a flower, you like it, you start watering, and a narcissist rips it out of the ground, puts it in a vase, and then it wilts and dies. Because the narcissist has to have control over it. And as they control something, they slowly, gradually destroy it. One of the weirder events I had was when George Miller got his daughter back, Augusta Gore. I remember he called and I briefly talked to her, and she was all like neurotic and weird from being fucking tortured out in the desert. But in the narcissist brain, it's a woman, it's made for having sex. Like, that's literally what they say in the church. It's a woman, it's made for having sex. That's why they exist. So it's okay for them to do whatever they want to her. That's why she was mentally ill. Okay? And they don't care about psychology in this church, and they don't care about actually helping people. Because I remember that shit with Officer Fred, who literally said, when you go to their therapist, they basically tell you to repress everything and push it down and fucking hide it. Like, and that's just mental illness personified. And then he goes, but they're professionals. I don't give a damn. Okay, a professional can be bad at what they do. That's a thing. And if they're a religious professional, forget it. They're going to be bad at what they do, especially if they follow the religious rhetoric. Like I said, the whole suffering's good for you. There are other ways to get people to reach their highest self outside of punching them in the face repeatedly. Yeah. On a side note, I guess I'm starting to feel a little better. I don't know.